A home on the north side ends with one woman dead. We have the latest from investigators.
And a first for San Antonio taking place this weekend. We've got the details of the city's first ever Pride River Parade and celebration. But first, we're going to begin with some late breaking news. What you're looking at is a live shot of the gate at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland, where a lockdown had been under effect for about 2 hours. But we're told they have just finished giving a news conference, and they are now saying that lockdown has been dismissed. Military officers were investigating reports of shots heard in the area of the base, and officials on base using social Twitter platforms to inform the public about all this.
So San Antonio police assisting military security say they also received calls about gunshots in the vicinity right off Cedarhurst Drive near Medina Base Road. Now, they are stressing this is not an active shooter situation. As of now, no injuries reported. Nothing has really been found. Again, that lockdown at JBSA Lackland, it has been discontinued, it has been lifted. We're going to continue to follow the story, bring you updates as we get them right here on air, and of course, KSAT.com. All right, well, now to that fire we were talking about. It appears an air conditioner and an extension cord added up to a deadly combination inside a north side home. Investigators believe that is what caused the blaze that ended with one woman dead.
It broke out early this morning in the 100 block of Rio Vista near San Pedro and Jackson Keller. Katrina Weber tells us why firefighters say that woman had no time to escape.
Thick smoke clouds the air outside a home in the 100 block of Rio Vista. Inside, it appears it clogged it, making it impossible for a woman who lived here to breathe.
Unfortunately, as we were inside the house fighting the fire, we did find a deceased victim.
Firefighters made the sad discovery around 4 this morning. They say smoke and flames were showing from the home when they arrived. They quickly knocked down the fire, which they say started in a back bedroom in a plug-in air conditioner.
That was connected to a very long extension cord, piled in an unsafe manner underneath a bed.
The woman was in a different part of the home. Firefighters believe she was overcome by the smoke. Firefighters found the woman not far from the front door of the home. They believe she may have been trying to escape at the time. They say the home had no smoke detectors, a warning system that could have made a difference. This is the 12th deadly fire in the city since October, and firefighters urge everyone to make it the last by doing safety checks of their home and making sure smoke detectors are working. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
We've got an update on that deadly shooting that happened over the weekend on the north side near North Star Mall. It left 2 women dead. The names of those women have now been released. They are 19-year-old Deanne Thomas and 18-year-old Kennedy Brazil. The 2 women were killed when people opened fire on their car. This was at Loop 410 and Blanco Road early Sunday morning. A third woman in that car at the time of the shooting is currently in the hospital. She is in critical condition. Those suspects still on the run. Anyone with information is being urged to call Castle Hills Police.
Well, San Antonio police are looking for someone who beat up and robbed a woman earlier this month, and police are asking for your help. So take a look at your screen. This all happened back on June 4th around 1 a.m. on East Craig Place, just west of the St. Mary's Strip. Now, police say the woman was robbed and beaten up after an altercation in the road. Investigators say she was punched several times in the face and in the head. Her cell phone was taken. If you recognize anyone on the screen or the vehicle involved, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number also on your screen, 210-224-STOP. Now to the January 6th committee hearing. Tomorrow's hearing of the House Select Committee, it has been postponed.
That's right. The hearing expected to feature Donald Trump's last Attorney General, Jeff Rosen, and focus on the president's alleged plot to use the powers of the federal government to overturn the 2020 election. During yesterday's hearing, committee members played recorded interviews with top Trump advisors who say they told the former president his claims were baseless.
But former Trump aide Jason Miller testifying there was one person urging the president to say that he won, and that person, Rudy Giuliani.
I think effectively Mayor Giuliani was saying, we won it. They're stealing it from us. We need to go say that we won.
The next hearing is set to take place on Thursday. Well, it is a day celebrating love, inclusion, and unity.
San Antonio's first ever Pride River Parade and celebration taking place this weekend. There's food, music, colorful barges. Tiffany Huertas has a sneak peek at what you can expect and how it is bringing people from all across the city together.
It started off as a hope and a dream, and it became a reality and surpassed all our hopes and dreams.
This year's Pride Month celebration in San Antonio is offering something it never has before.
Each barge will be filled with a happy crew with DJs and music and dancing and colors.
The inaugural Bud Light Pride River Parade by Visit San Antonio is bringing people from all over.
One of Visit San Antonio's missions is to be diverse and inclusive and welcome everybody to San Antonio. And this is one way we can just start that conversation and start the ball rolling with pride and include everybody and show that we are that type of city.
At this year's first ever Pride River Parade, there will be 19 colorful barges with different decorations representing San Antonio.
Then our parade starts at 4 o'clock on the Riverwalk, and we will have one in the downtown area, and then we'll have another one from 7 to 8 over at the Pearl area.
President-elect with the San Antonio Lgbt Chamber of Commerce, Justin Munoz, says they have been planning this event for months.
I feel overjoyed and full of love. It's nice to see the San Antonio community embrace each other and embrace the community at large.
Celebrations start at La Villita at noon on Saturday. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
With the record heat we've already seen before summer officially begins even, local health officials want to make sure that parents are keeping a safe eye on their children and keeping them cool.
So they say there are 4 big things to think about during these hot days: time, exposure, sunscreen, and staying hydrated. Jennifer McKnight is a registered nurse at the Children's Hospital of San Antonio and says the best time to let your kids play outside is first thing in the morning or in the evening. She says it's important to monitor how much sun your children are exposed to, and even on a cloudy day, always wear sunscreen.
Even though we're experiencing our hottest temperatures now, sunscreen is really important throughout the year, regardless of the temps, because we do have a lot of sun exposure here in Texas. So you want to be using a broad spectrum UVA, UVB sunscreen with an SPF of at least 15, around 15 to 30 is good for kiddos. And then those little ones that are under 6 months, we really want to be keeping them out of direct sun.
McKnight says even if it's cloudy outside, you still need to wear sunscreen, and ideally it should be applied 15 to 30 minutes prior to going outside. Also important to remember to reapply sunscreen if you're outside for a long period of time.
We want to reapply it every 2 hours, and especially if they've been swimming or sweating a lot, even those sunscreens that say that they're waterproof or for sports, a lot of times when they're in the water, they'll towel off and they're really rubbing off most of the sunscreen.
And while the playground might be a great way to let the kids go out and about, burn off some energy, remember to check the equipment, make sure it is not too hot. McKnight recommends going to the playground in the morning, then maybe finding something else to do in the afternoon when the temperatures reach their height of the day. And right now, already 90 degrees out, Justin. Are we going to see triple digits again today?
We're going to get close. I'm hoping that we don't quite get there. We've now got 13 days of 100 degrees or more. Yesterday was yet another day. We tied another record yesterday. I don't think we hit any records today, so there's that. But we are well ahead of pace to have the most 100 degree days in 1 year. Doesn't mean we will. Things can always change, but at the moment we just keep adding up more and more. Here's one reason why I think we may avoid 100 degree temperatures today. We've got some high clouds drifting through, and maybe there's just enough cloud cover there to keep temperatures just below that mark. We also noticed some cumulus clouds popping up. No rain or anything like that, at least not today. But we are noticing some of that high cloudiness at this hour. Despite that, we're still at 91 at the airport, 86 Bernie Stage, 89 Comfort, 85 Kingdom Lake, 92 right now in New Braunfels. It feels a little bit warmer than that, by the way, because there is still humidity out there. 95 degrees at 2 o'clock, 97 3 p.m., 98 your high temperature, and we'll see some gusty southeasterly winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. This evening, same story, but we'll start to add in some small rain chances overnight into tomorrow. Most of us are going to stay dry. We're not going to see much rain out of this little system down to our south, but it is moving in our general direction. We'll take a look at that. And also, Look ahead to the end of the week and the weekend. More Saharan dust in the forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. All right, we are in the midst of the NBA Finals. Huge game last night. Oh, my goodness. Warriors, Celtics. We're going to have what happened and what comes next.
Plus the full moon putting on a show right now. Check it out. This month's Strawberry Moon.
Well, welcome back. Time to get ready for an extraterrestrial light show. So this month, the full moon is a supermoon, and its nickname, the Strawberry Moon. It's already lighting up the night sky, and you've got until sunset on Wednesday to see it in all of its glory. So this year's Strawberry Moon, it is the first of 2 consecutive supermoons. Basically means the moon looks bigger and brighter than normal because it is so close to the Earth. Unfortunately, the moon is not strawberry red. Now, what I was talking to Ursula about earlier, the name actually comes from indigenous groups in the Northeast. They saw this moon as a sign that strawberries, along with other fruits, they were ripe and ready to eat.
You failed to mention that Max pretended he knew that fact before the story was written.
I did the research before it came live on television. I didn't just know that off the top of my head, but
I called you out.
You did. I appreciate it. Taking a live look out of the Alamo City right now. Saharan dust, Justin? Is that what we got going on?
There's a little bit going on. And by the way, speaking of the moon, some of the planets are going to line up with the moon a little bit later this month. It's a pretty cool sight to see. You can see more about that on our website, KSAT.com. We have our article for you. Meantime, the aquifer, bad shape. It's down over a foot today, 636.2. We are still in stage 2 water restrictions, though, at least us customers are. Molds are low at 150. We have some of that Saharan dust out there. We'll take a look at that forecast. Come on.
Welcome back. Oh, look at that. In just the last 4 minutes, we've gone on from 90 to 91 degrees.
From my experiences with this harsh spring and the start of summer, these aren't bad temperatures for noon. Could be worse.
Justin's about to drop some knowledge.
With that? No,
Normally it's around 93 when it's going to be 102 or 103.
You make a very good point.
But is it going to be 103 today?
No, I don't.
Absolutely not.
I lowered the temperature.
Do not even hint that could happen.
We don't want that. I lowered the temperatures a little bit today to 98, just because we are seeing a little bit of cloud cover.
Double digits. Look at that. Boom.
I know my weather.
We celebrate. Hey, good work, Ursula. We've also got some dust in the atmosphere. We saw that yesterday. This plume works its way through. We see a bit of a break probably tomorrow. Not much of one, but a little bit of one. We'll see the concentrations come down. And I know some people are starting to feel it. Maybe your sinuses hurt, some of this dust coming through. I'll caution you, Thursday, looks like this plume is going to be a little thicker right here around San Antonio, so you'll notice the haze a little bit more. And the air quality may not be so good on Thursday. It lingers over into Friday, too. And then it dissipates over the weekend. And there's another plume behind that, sorry to say, that will work its way into the Gulf of Mexico and maybe eventually up into Texas. That would be next week. We'll keep you posted there. Meantime, we go outside for you. There is still a little bit of a haze out there. We've got some cloud cover at this hour. Partly cloudy skies, 91 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 66, so that is still creating a heat index. Winds have been very stout out of the south at 23 miles per hour, gusting to 31. Gusts today will be anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour. We saw some pretty strong winds last night. 87 is the current heat index at Bernie Stage. 97 is heat index in New Braunfels. Seguin's 90 with a heat index of 93. And looking at wind gusts, we've got those gusts anywhere from 25 to 30 across Bexar County at this hour, gusting at 31 currently at the airport. And the wind gust forecast, as I mentioned, keeps it in that range, 25, maybe 30 miles per hour, even into tonight. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 97 at 3 o'clock. We'll call it mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Again, we're going with 98. We dropped that from 100. I was going 100 a little bit earlier this morning, but a few extra clouds. I'm hoping for the best here. 97 at 6 p.m., 96 at 7 p.m., and then by tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. You notice by midnight, we start to add in a 10% rain chance. Why is that? Well, we've got an area of low pressure down to our south. You can see it on water vapor right there. It's spinning. And as it works its way north, kind of drifts north, there's an opportunity to get some slightly deeper moisture pulled in here and just maybe a shower or two. I'm telling everybody, don't get too excited about this because anything we see is going to be few and far between. It'll be light. It's not going to drop a lot of rain. And rain chances are only at 10%. So only a lucky few will get some drops of moisture. But at this point, we'll take anything. And as we look at the forecast here, this is 7 p.m. this evening. Does show some showers in the Big Bend region, but nothing here. Just a little bit of added cloud cover. But as we get into tonight, into tomorrow morning, a few showers work their way up into the area, generally west of San Antonio, just a 10% chance of rain. And that'll be the case tomorrow afternoon, too. Just a 10% chance. And as we look at the big picture here, high pressure is starting to center itself to our north and east. Around it, there's been severe weather. In fact, the severe weather watch box now in effect across parts of Georgia. This ridge of high pressure does swing back to the west, though, on Thursday, and I think that bumps up our temperatures a little bit. And then by Friday, as a little piece of energy works underneath that ridge, we'll bring back some small rain chances again. Friday, I think, along the coast. Saturday, as this little disturbance works in, our rain chances may be a little bit better. Right now, we're going to keep it at 10%. Again, nothing to be too excited about, but at least it's not just pure heat. As we look at the tropics, we are still tracking one system down there in the Caribbean. The Hurricane Center is still giving us a 40% chance of development as it works north. The computer models, if they do want to develop something here, tend to take it up towards the Cancun area and then turn it off to the west towards Mexico. That's if we get something to develop. With that ridge of high pressure where it is, we probably miss out on any moisture from this system if it does get going. Unfortunately, that's just the way that the setup dictates how things are going to play out there. But 99 degrees Wednesday, 10% chance of rain, as we said, 101 Thursday, 100 Friday. There's that Saharan dust in the forecast. Some very small rain chances Friday and Saturday. Otherwise, a hot Father's Day. We're going for a high of 101.
Ouch.
Justin Horn, thank you so much. Time now, 12:21. How about those Rangers? Oh, my goodness. I got to tell you, watching the game last night, really thought the Astros had it in the bag. Turns out, well, I was wrong. We're going to explain what happened and what comes next. And, of course, we got NBA Finals action. Can Steph and the Warriors bring another ring to Golden State? We'll explain. Ursula has her thumbs down. Welcome back to pivotal Game 5 of this year's NBA Finals. Tipped off at the Chase Center in San Francisco. We got Boston. We got Golden State. The Warriors, though, handling business. And now Steph Curry and the squad, they're just one win away from another title, taking down Boston last night. So ABC's Will Reeve was at the game. Brings us the highlights.
The Golden State Warriors are one win away from the NBA title. In front of a fired-up home crowd, the Warriors jumped out to an early lead in Game 5 of the NBA Finals and looked poised to blow out the Boston Celtics, who hadn't lost 2 games in a row all playoffs. But Boston came roaring back.
A 16-point lead has disappeared.
The comeback thanks in part to an uncharacteristic, even unprecedented off night from superstar Finals MVP frontrunner and best three-point shooter of all time, Steph Curry, who didn't make a single three-pointer for the first time in 233 games.
I don't think I've ever been happier after an 0 for whatever type of night. Track record says, we'll shoot the ball better next game. And looking forward to that bounce back.
Some huge buckets from Klay Thompson. A clutch performance from former #1 pick Andrew Wiggins. And Jordan Poole doing this. Overwhelmed Jason Tatum and the Celtics, who now head back to Boston on the brink of defeat.
Obviously, we're all frustrated with tonight a little bit, and so our message is to take it one at a time. We've been here before and did it against Milwaukee, and let's bring it back out to the Bay.
Now here's a stat that will excite Warriors fans and maybe scare Celtics fans as they prepare for Game 6 in Boston on Thursday. Of teams that have gone up 3-2 in the NBA Finals, they've gone on to win the title over 80% of the time. The Warriors have a chance to do that and win their 4th title in 8 years. Thursday night, 9 Eastern on ABC. Will Reeve, ABC News, San Francisco.
All right, well, back here in the Lone Star State, the battle for Texas, Astros, Rangers, primetime matchup last night in Arlington. Take a look. In the early innings, it was all Houston. 3 scores at the end of the second. And for a while, it looked like Astros could just notch the W. But The Rangers getting life at the end of the game. 3 scores in the 8th inning, helping them lift over in-state rivals. The final from Arlington, Rangers 5, Astros 3. Don't worry though, the series continues. Astro has another shot at the Rangers tonight. Game 2 of the series. Pitch is set for 7:05 this evening. Of course, we got Game 3 tomorrow afternoon.
In the next half hour, Abbott Nutrition using its resources to help the baby formula shortage come to an end in the U.S. Company officials say a major shipment from one of its overseas plants is on the way. We have details straight ahead.
But first, a gunman targets a day camp for kids up near Dallas. Parents and children terrified, but law enforcement didn't hesitate. We explain right after the break.
We have breaking news happening on the city's west side right now. We have a crew there at the scene. This is where a shooting took place in the 1100 block of El Paso Street.
This is near Guadalupe and South Colorado Streets. We know one person has been taken to the hospital. It appears one person being questioned. Again, we do have a crew on the scene. I believe it's Alicia Barrera, and she's going to be providing an update as soon as authorities give us information.
But in the meantime, now that terrifyingly close call in Texas after a gunman opened fire at a children's summer camp.
So no students were hurt. Staff members actually now being commended for keeping the kids safe. All of this as police arrived within minutes and took down the gunman. ABC's Rena Roy explains.
Emotional reunions in Duncanville, Texas, after police say a gunman opened fire at this summer camp program Monday.
He had texted me and said, "Mom, I think someone's entered the field house with a gun."
Children ages 4 to 14 were inside the Duncanville field house when authorities say a man armed with a handgun burst in and began shooting.
He went in the room and then we heard shooting and then we got scared and everybody started crying.
The suspect entered through the main lobby doors with a handgun. That was the initial gunfire, the initial shot that the people inside the location heard.
Parents rushing to find out if their children were okay.
My immediate emotion was to panic.
Camp counselors trained for these scenarios, acting quickly, moving kids to a safe area and locking the doors.
I was praying to God just so nothing will happen, so nothing bad won't happen.
Police arriving 2 minutes after receiving calls, shooting and killing the suspect shortly after. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
There was no hesitation whatsoever. As we're thankful for their training, that they do exactly what they're trained to do.
Police say they don't know what motivated the shooter to open fire. Daily summer camps there are canceled until further notice, and children will be relocated to other camps. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Rescue efforts resuming this morning in Milwaukee to try and resume an 11-year-old child, or rescue a child and 2 men who were swept away in a drainage ditch last night. Police are saying that child initially slipped into the ditch that leads into a river. The men tried to rescue the child, but the heavy rain and strong current swept them all away. Police say it's possible they got stuck in some debris that was in a tunnel. Authorities had to suspend their rescue efforts last night because conditions were too dangerous. And yesterday, the severe storms were rolling through parts of Wisconsin. They damaged rooftops, toppling trees and power lines, and even turned over some big rigs.
So the House of Representatives is set to pass a bill from the Senate, and that would increase security for Supreme Court justices. Now, that vote expected to happen sometime today. Last month, the Senate unanimously passing a bill to bolster security for the justices, but House Democrats wanted to adjust the bill, including court staff. Republicans also stressed the urgency of this bill and passing it after a man with weapons was arrested just last week, and that suspect claiming he wanted to kill Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
Also happening today, Vice President Kamala Harris leading a roundtable discussion on reproductive rights. Harris will discuss the implications on privacy rights and birth control should the Supreme Court decide to overturn Roe versus Wade. President Joe Biden recently said his administration is looking into possible executive actions it could take if Roe is struck down. Last month, a leaked draft majority opinion showed the high court may consider throwing out the long-time decision that made abortion legal in the U.S. President Joe Biden said his administration, again, is looking at ways to take action.
And speaking of President Joe Biden, it appears that the president is planning a trip to Saudi Arabia. All of this comes amidst gasoline hitting record prices, $5 a gallon. But this potential trip is now bringing up old controversies. Remember, as a candidate, President Biden, at that time, just Mr. Biden, calling Saudi Arabia a pariah. And a visit might involve a face-to-face with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. So remember, U.S. intelligence believes that the prince authorized the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. CNN is reporting that President Joe Biden is set to visit Saudi Arabia in July.
Looking outside with live cam, there are clouds and the possibility of another triple-digit day. Really, this is happening again.
I'm hoping we can avoid it today. There is a chance. There's a chance that maybe we stay just below that threshold this afternoon. I want to show you a picture in our KSAT Connect. This is a sign of the times. This is the Guadalupe River near Sisterdale, and you can see just how low it is. The flow is not great there. We're starting to see this with a lot of our reservoirs, our lakes, our rivers. It's just the water is just not there. We need rain so very badly. If you are headed out to float the river, and it still can happen here, we're seeing temperatures making it up to 98 degrees this afternoon with some partly cloudy skies. No rain today, and those winds will be a little bit gusty, actually 10 to 20 miles per hour in several spots. And of course, sunscreen is a must. 10 minutes is all it will take to start seeing some sunburns out there the way the UV index is looking. Forecast high temperatures today, as we said, 98 here in San Antonio. A lot of places will get close to that 100-degree mark, if not hit it. Castroville, Devine, Hondo, Pearsall, all looking at triple-digit days. Here in Bexar County, it will be a close call. And as we look at what's ahead, temperatures not as hot as they were yesterday. More clouds, a little windy today. Thicker round of Saharan dust heads our way on Thursday. And yes, there is a very small rain chance coming up tomorrow. Another look at that forecast and the weekend forecast here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. In medical news, the youngest part of the U.S. population could soon be protected from COVID-19. The Food and Drug Administration's Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee meeting today and tomorrow. They're going to be discussing granting an emergency use authorization to allow children who are at least 6 months old to get Moderna and Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines. Right now, that is the only age range that is not eligible for a COVID-19 shot. FDA data is showing both vaccines are safe and effective for little children. If authorization is approved, the CDC could also give its approval before the vaccine is even made available. Pop star Justin Bieber postponing his upcoming shows.
So all of this after the announcement that his face is partially paralyzed by a viral condition. So what is this condition? Well, CNN's Mandy Gaither explains.
As you can see, this eye is not blinking.
Speaking to fans via video, Justin Bieber announced he's suffering from Ramsay Hunt syndrome, a rare neurological disorder caused by the same virus that leads to chickenpox and shingles. The virus is believed to infect the facial nerve near the inner ear, leading to irritation and swelling.
The chickenpox heals, but the virus stays in the nerve root, and decades later, it can be reactivated either due to a sickness or stress.
Symptoms may include severe ear pain, painful rash around the ear and mouth on the side with the affected nerve, hearing loss on one side, vertigo, and weakness on one side of the face.
It can be really painful, so along with facial paralysis, you get this painful ear lesion, and sometimes the diagnosis is not that straightforward.
Treatment includes steroids to reduce inflammation and pain medication. Antiviral medicines may also be prescribed. The earlier it's detected, the better.
Diagnosis in the first 3 days, you have about a 70% chance of full recovery. But guess what? After 1 week, it goes down to 30%.
For now, Bieber has canceled his upcoming shows and says he's doing facial exercises to help.
I'll be using this time to just rest and relax and get back to 100%.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, the National Museum of Asian American and Pacific Islander History and Culture is one step closer to a reality. What the Biden administration is saying happens coming up.
But first, another shipment of baby formula on the way to the U.S. This time, Abbott Nutrition coordinating that shipment. What the company says it's doing to make sure this formula is safe. In consumer news, Abbott Nutrition, the company at the center of the U.S. infant formula shortage, now planning to join the efforts to ship in formula from overseas. The FDA and Abbott Nutrition announcing Abbott will ship 1.1 million pounds of baby formula from Spain into the U.S. And it all starts next month, or rather this month. The products are going to come from its manufacturing facility in Grenada. The shipments will equal more than 686,000 cans of formula, and it'll include products for premature babies and infants with sensitive stomachs. Abbott said their products have undergone microbiological testing. A portion of the inventory will go to help areas dealing with the low supply for the federal WIC program, which helps low-income women and children.
Well, if you have a furnace, listen up. The White House now looking to phase out less efficient furnaces. So a proposed rule would implement a new national energy efficiency standard for all home heating furnaces. This would actually be the first update since the 90s. It would make newer, more efficient furnaces mandatory. But here's the thing. The proposed rule would not go into effect until at least 2029 at the earliest, and furnace manufacturers would have to stop producing the old inefficient furnaces and actually ban new imports of those old inefficient furnaces. Now, homeowners who have an old furnace, they would not be penalized.
A National Museum of Asian American and Pacific Islander History and Culture, one step closer to reality. President Joe Biden signing a bill into law yesterday, authorizing a commission to begin studying how to develop this museum. Among the questions to be answered by the group is whether the museum will be part of the Smithsonian. While commenting on the new law, Biden pointed out it comes a year after the Atlanta spa shootings and 80 years after 120,000 Japanese Americans were incarcerated during World War II in internment camps.
All right, we're back here at home taking a live look out there. 92. We started at 90, so we're moving up.
Well, you know, I'm sticking with my original forecast.
Oh, okay. We got to put Ursula in the cube with you.
Make it happen.
I just don't want it to be 100 degrees today. That's all.
I'm with you. We're going to try to keep it below that mark. 91 so far today. The average is 93. We will be above average, but we will not get to the record today of 105 set back in 1998. So we're thankful there. We set a lot of records in a row. Today is not going to be one of them. 78 was the low this morning. There are some hot temperatures in the forecast, but not as hot as it has been. That 7-day forecast is coming up.
Welcome back. 12:46 this Tuesday afternoon. So what is your forecast?
Whatever Justin says is my forecast.
Oh, okay. That was a good answer.
Here we go.
I have complete confidence that you're going to keep us away from 100 today.
Oh, man, we're going to try our best.
There's pressure.
He's putting you on the hot spot over here.
You put in the request, and listen, we'll take it into consideration. That's all I can tell you. Let's hope that we don't quite get there. We're expecting highs in the upper 90s today. But look at Seattle and Portland and Boise and Salt Lake City. What we wouldn't do to have those kind of numbers right now. 53 in Boise, 52 Seattle, 57 in Portland. That's where all the cool air resides. It's where it will stay today. All the heat is getting pulled up north. It's 92 in Omaha right now, 90 in Minneapolis. So they're right there with us. There's going to be a lot of heat across the middle part of the country today. And also, got some storms going yesterday across parts of Cleveland, Washington, D.C., around this ridge of high pressure, which is generating all this heat. Meanwhile, here in Texas, a lot of 90s on the map already. We're at 91 here in San Antonio, 92 Waco, 92 Dallas, 93 in Tyler. So we know it's going to be another hot day. One thing we have going for us is that there are some clouds trying to work their way through South Texas. You see some of these high clouds, high and mid-level clouds here, and then we've got a few cumulus clouds developing as well, out ahead of a little spin in the atmosphere right here. We've been watching this through the morning, starting to make its way a little bit closer to Texas, and this is what I'm optimistic about tomorrow. It could produce a shower or two. With this around and some daytime heating, I think we could see a few returns on radar. That's not saying that we're going to see a lot of rain, because we're not. It's going to be few and far between. Rain chances are only 10%. Everything we'll see will be light. But it is something to watch. And again, as it moves a little bit closer tomorrow, we're expecting some more clouds, but also a couple of showers popping up. This is around 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. There's that 10% chance rain, and it's generally going to be west of San Antonio. That'll be the case into the afternoon as well. And as we look at the big picture here, I mentioned that ridge of high pressure that was generating all that heat over parts of the Midwest. Well, there's also been severe weather kind of coming up and around it. So there's more severe weather expected today across parts of Georgia as these storms dive south. Already seeing some pretty good heavy rain there. Where does this high pressure go? Well, it starts to move west as we get into Thursday. So I think Thursday is going to be a pretty hot day. And then by Friday, it lifts north just a little bit, and we start to see a disturbance developing down here around the Gulf. Now, this is not tropical or anything like that, but it moves east to west into Texas, and that may be enough to generate a few more showers by the time we get into Saturday. Another thing to watch, nothing though that's going to give us any good, important, or significant rain. It may just cool us down a little bit. A lucky few may get a little bit of rain out of it. Here's a look at the time lapse. We had some clouds this morning, quite a bit of cloud cover. It has since cleared out some, and we still got a little bit of haze out there from that leftover Saharan dust. 91 degrees at the airport. Southerly winds at 23, gusting to 31. 95 already in Pleasanton, so we likely will get up to 100 there. 94 in Hondo, 90 in Del Rio, 92 right now in Uvalde, and a lot of 90s in place here across Barrett County, with the exception being Helotes, which is still sitting at 87, 86 Bernie Stage. Dew points 60s and 70s, so it is still muggy out there. We're going to see a heat index throughout the afternoon. We'll also see gusty winds. Now gusting to 32 at Stinson, gusting to 31 at the airport, and like yesterday, those gusty winds will continue right on into the evening. High temperatures today, 98 here in town, 100 Castroville, 100 in Devine. Pleasanton says 94. I don't think so. It's going to be into the triple digits there. That's not correct. 96 Forestville. We'll get up to 97 around Canyon Lake. A lot of places will be up near that 100-degree mark. 99 tomorrow, 101 Thursday, 100 Friday. There are those small chances for rain, but it still stays hot even going into Father's Day and into next week, and no real big rain chances there. Overnight lows stay in the mid to upper 70s. We'll be right back.
We have late breaking news on the city's west side. We're learning one person has been shot. We have a crew on the scene. All of this happening in the 1100 block of El Paso Street. It's near Guadalupe and South Colorado Streets.
Details as to what led up to this shooting, though, still coming in. We do know that one person has been taken to the hospital. Our Alicia Barrera is live from the scene with the very latest.
Right now, the scene has been clearing out. This is really what's left of it. So these are the new Legacy at Alasan apartments, not far from the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center. So here's what we know. It's on the third floor on the far left of this apartment complex where that shooting happened. We know it involved a couple, a man and a woman. One man has been transported to University Hospital. I was able to see that man. He was in the back of the ambulance, and he was conscious. We know his wounds are non-life threatening. It hasn't been confirmed where exactly on his body he did receive that gunshot. Now, when it comes to what's going to happen next with the couple, the woman we know is cooperating with police. No arrests have been made at this point. And we spoke to Sergeant Carrillo just a few minutes ago, and he says right now it's unclear if this was an accidental shooting or if it's criminal. I then asked him, was anyone else inside of that apartment when that shooting happened? He says, yes, there were some minors there, the children of that couple. They are okay. No one else was harmed. When it comes to those two teenagers, right now, other family is on the scene, also cooperating with investigators. So it's unclear if those children will have to be removed from the home. Again, the woman, the mother of those two kids, she is cooperating with police. Her partner, the male, is at University Hospital recovering. And at this point, we're still waiting to find out if this will be a criminal investigation or if this was an accident. Reporting live from the city's west side, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. And like she was saying, we're going to have the latest updates when they become available on air and online. But for now, we're talking about rock concerts. They are back in business, except when they're not.
David Daniel has the latest high-profile postponement in today's Hollywood Minute.
Mick Jagger has tested positive for COVID-19. According to a statement from the Rolling Stones, the 78-year-old frontman experienced symptoms after arriving at a concert venue in Amsterdam, prompting the band to postpone that show. Ironically, Jagger put out a COVID song last year titled Easy Sleazy, which included the line, "Cancel all the tours."
It was hard. I just had a very low self-esteem. I had to really figure out who I was. And believe in that and not believe anything else.
Jennifer Lopez takes fans backstage with the new documentary, Halftime. The title refers to her 2020 Super Bowl halftime performance and to kicking off the second half of her life as an artist and a mother. Halftime is now streaming on Netflix.
She's so dope. Wanna be a dope fiend. She showed me what dope means.
New music from John Legend. Dope, featuring rapper J.I.D., is the first single off Legend's upcoming album. He's been teasing the track at his Las Vegas residency, which he returns to August 5th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniels.
All right, we're going to head over to SA Live now, where they are also singing, dancing, and eating.
Always eating.
Yes,
eating
dancing first, then the dancing. Yeah, because the food's so good, right?
Yes, exactly. Mari Olivas is here with Verde Bistro Tapas and Martini Bar in Bulverde. Now, there's so many things to choose from, but you have a tip if they want to make their own wontons, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the things we're going to be showing. But quickly, what you want to use is we want to use a pan, a muffin pan. You're going to put in your wontons in there, spray a little bit of oil, pop them in the oven for about 375 degrees for about 1 or 2 minutes.
That's it.
And you have your crisps.
So easy. Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome.
And of course, Father's Day is coming up, so we have great ideas from Adina Anderson, Creative Lifestyles with Adina. We're talking Father's Day baskets for under $20. All that and more when SA Live continues in just a few minutes.
Temperatures are working their way into the mid-90s, so it is going to be a close call today. But Ursula says she wants to boil 100, so we're going 98.
We're going to go with that.
We do have a bit more cloud cover today, so the hope is that'll keep temperatures down at least a little bit. But it is going to be windy. We have a small chance for a shower west of San Antonio coming up tomorrow. The other big story will be the Sahara dust, which we'll be working in, especially on Thursday. You'll notice it. Another few small chances for rain Friday and Saturday.
Thanks for working with me, Justin.
You got it.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, Ursula. Thank you so much for watching. That is it for the news at noon.
SA Live starts right
now.
Today on SA Live, plan the perfect hill country getaway trip this summer with a fun new app. And yes, we are putting it to the test.
Plus, DIY Father's Day gifts for dad. Some baskets under $20.
Fresh and famous seafood boils to fill you up this summer. We take you there.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
Oh yeah, hello and happy Tasty Tuesday. That's right, we have tapas and a whole lot more food and drinks headed, well, our way right now. Your way if you go to the place we're about to show you. That's right. Good afternoon, I'm Fiona Coristiza.
Yes, we're so lucky, right? It's like right here in front of us. I'm
Someone's gotta do
it. Such a tough job, right?
All right, well, our first guest today is heating things up with an array of Latin fusion dishes.
Joining us is Mari Olivas, owner of Verde Bistro, Tapas, and Martini Bar in Bulverde. Thanks so much for bringing all of this delicious food.
Thank you for inviting us.
All right, tell us a little bit about Verde Bistro.
Yes, absolutely. We opened in 2018. Verde Bistro is a tapas place, is a bistro, and a full bar. We are located.
Full bar.
It's a full bar. We are located in downtown Bulverde in a really nice place, a little building that has been there for about 100 years old. Wow. We love that facility. We have been there since then. Our tapas, pretty much what it consists, or our cuisine, what it consists of is tapas. We have tapas, and pretty much we use our made from scratch tapas. We made them every morning. Everything is made from scratch. Everything is oven baked, and pretty much we use the best ingredients, quality ingredients, with whether they're organic or natural.
Great food to bring people together, and you're going to show us a little something that we're going to help make today,
absolutely.
Right?
Yes, we brought some of the tapas that we have.
Okay. All right, and this is what?
Well, the first thing that we're going to show you is the Argentinian empanadas. Those Argentinian empanadas have are made out of grass-fed beef from a local rancher, Lowers Ranch, and we serve them with some chimichurri sauce. Next, we have the lamb meatballs infused with pasilla. We have a sauce that we put on top. The actual lamb has oregano, fresh sage, Greek lemon yogurt. It's sitting on the bottom, and then we serve them with cucumber ribbons. Next, we have the bacon dates, which is they are wrapped with bacon and filled with goat cheese.
Wow.
And
I've
we
never had a
put
date
them in the
like that.
bacon. They're really nice when you're drinking a glass of wine.
Ooh, I bet.
Yes.
All right.
Next, we have the local grass-fed beef sliders, where we have Parmesan crisps on them. We have caramelized onions and chipotle mayo, and we top them with a fresh fresh cherry tomato. On this side, we also have the brie, which is puffy pastry filled with brie, and we serve it with a chipotle sauce that is really, really spicy, but also sweet. Leaves you with a really, really nice taste to it. And then we have salads, which is our famous cranberry almond salad. We have field greens, feta cheese on it, cranberry roasted almonds. We use a maple vinaigrette that we made in-house, and then we top it off with our famous Parmesan crisps.
Perfect for summer,
right? Perfect for summer.
Okay, and you can kind of switch things out too, depending on what you want.
Absolutely. If you would like to have a salad, you don't want to have all the carbs, you might want to just add a different kind of protein to it. We have filet mignon, we have salmon, we have shrimp, and then the ahi tuna, of course.
Speaking of
that we're going to be doing.
Yes, I'm going to
So
get
what
this
we're going to be
going.
doing and preparing today is the Ahi Tuna Crisp. We already gave you the tip as to how to do the crisps. So first thing that we're going to be doing, Fiona, is going to start chopping some cabbage and carrots. Done.
Look at how fast I did that.
Yes,
That is
and
amazing.
it's all done. Next,
How did you do that, Fiona?
Next is gonna be adding the sauce, which is our chipotle crema sauce. She's gonna be mixing it all very nicely. Next step, she's gonna be adding the avocado sauce to the crisp.
Okay, and for anybody who missed it earlier, in order to kind of make these, if you have the example, do you still have the example over there?
It's disappeared.
It's disappeared.
Flip it over. Yes, a muffin tin, you flip it over and you can put them right in the middle,
It's
which is
only
awesome.
2-3 minutes in the oven.
So easy.
Using a pan, muffin pan. So very nice. You're gonna be adding the coleslaw to the crisps.
Okay.
And while Fiona's doing that, we're doing here our Ahi Tuna Crisp, which is pretty much a few minutes that we're gonna be searing it on both sides.
But the magic of television,
The magic
right?
of television. We already have it
here.
ready. So we're adding the Ahi Tuna on top. Very
These are
nicely
so
done,
beautiful.
girls.
And the whole point of tapas is bringing people together
Absolutely.
with great food and drinks and sharing, and that was the whole
Absolutely.
point behind your restaurant, right?
That is correct. That is the reason why we decided to explore the tapas in our Gulberti beautiful town.
And it's reservations only, right?
That is correct. We highly recommend reservations. We used to, if you prefer to have reservations, but we'd rather have you call, make a reservation.
Ooh, that looks good.
And we will have definitely your table ready when you get to the place.
And your drinks will be ready too, because there's a full bar we're about to talk about, and we are going to show you some of those fabulous drinks coming up a little later in the show.
Yes.
Very nicely done.
Monty.
There we go. Finish off.
The last step that we're doing here on the tapas, we're adding a mango tequila sauce on top.
There we go.
And we are done. Finished product.
Can't wait to try that. For more information, SALive.com. Click the as seen on SA Live tab or scan that QR code on your screen. Ooh, I'm hungry.
Right? Okay. So, we were thinking about money this morning, because why not? Okay, and then we were thinking,
Always dreaming, yeah.
I know, I think, summer dreaming, right? Okay, what if you had, say, $1 million, but you could only buy things that started with the first initial of your name? Okay, so, I know what I'd go for.
Tell me.
If it was you. I just thought of you.
Help me,
Jay,
'cause-
I'd go jet. I'd buy a jet.
Yes. Okay. I always wanted to be a pilot, so there you go. Yeah.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
I mean, what else?
That's nice.
Really not much. What else?
I'm still
Besides
thinking.
Ferrari.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I
it's
would
a good
buy
one.
farmland, because land is important.
There-
Okay. By friends. Friends, I'd
You
buy
have a good
friends.
letter. I'm
Well,
gonna
with $1
keep
million,
thinking.
I'd have more friends. You're right. Okay, for more. So be sure to let us know at SA Live KSAT on Facebook and Twitter what you would do. All right, well, from Bulverde to Fredericksburg, there is plenty to eat and do in the Texas Hill Country, but how do you map it all out for your summer trip?
Well, it's Texas Trippin' made easier. There's a new app that helps you plan the perfect trip. You just have to answer a few questions and it builds it all for you. Take a look.
A Texas road trip made easy. The Vine app is one of the newest tools developed by business owners because if you're like many road trippers heading to the Texas Hill Country, you know there is so much to choose from.
So we created a mobile app for people specifically coming out to the area, wanting to come to the Texas wine country and visit. And it's really about making the process of your trip and your travel easier.
Anita Ortiz-Lupke is one of the co-founders of the Vine app. It's meant to help build your itinerary.
So you go in, you answer a few questions, and it creates a custom itinerary for you with a manageable list of places to go for wineries, food, shopping, lodging, transportation, entertainment, all the fun stuff that we have out here in the Texas wine country. We want to make it a concise list and make recommendations based on what you want to do.
Today I'm here by myself. I guess you could say a girl trip. Both of us, right? And so we're going to make some stops today and we are going to use the app to build our itinerary. So are you ready to get started?
Absolutely.
All right.
Our first stop is Slate Winery, where you can go underground to a man-made cave and enjoy some Texas wine.
Okay, wow. I'm super excited to be here. We're in a cave, pretty much, is what it feels like. Where are we, Anita? First stop.
We are at Slate Theory, which is right in the middle of the wine trail. It's one of the most unique experiences, and we're down in what's known as the cave, which is their underground cellar.
Awesome. And Justine, let's talk about this place. How new is it?
So we opened our doors November 1st of 2021, so we are relatively new. We are probably one of the youngest wineries out here, and we have seen exponential growth since we've opened our doors, especially because of this cave and cellar experience that we offer.
Yes, this is amazing. What has the feedback been so far from people who come visit?
Oh, it's been absolutely incredible. We could not have imagined the response that we've had with anybody that's come in here. This cellar experience is by far our most popular experience offered to our guests, and this is what people are seeing. We kind of went viral on TikTok. So when we have people come in, that's what they say they've seen. They've seen us on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. So we feel like we've had a really incredible response with the public.
Now these rooms are gorgeous, and this is something people can book and reserve?
Yes. So they can actually book any one of our little bays or our rooms, as we call them, for a private tasting experience.
Perfect. All right. This is one that you can add to your itinerary and list, especially if we're doing a girls trip like we are. Right, Anita?
Can you imagine hanging out with your girlfriends down here, just having a tasting or a bottle of wine? It's great fun.
Oh, throw in that charcuterie. It's amazing.
You read my mind. Right there. Okay, perfect.
Our next stop is a best friend owned and operated boutique in Fredericksburg. Time for some shopping.
Okay, our second stop is here at Nick and Low, and it's time to do some shopping. I think I lost Anita, right? She's shopping back there. But you guys are the owners. How long has this place been in business?
Officially 2.5 weeks. Yep.
2.5.
Yes.
Oh, how's it going?
It is going good. Like it's fantastic. It's been a really good turnout. It's been fun. Like we've had a lot of locals come in, which is really fun. We wanted to kind of get both in. So it's always been a dream of ours to be able to open up our own boutique, and we've spoken about it for so long, and now we've finally done it.
This is one of the businesses that you can find on the app, and we're going to go do some shopping now.
Yeah.
If you're looking for those unique conversation pieces, the Vine app took me next to Simply Goods and Design. Inside, you'll find an array of decor items in a historic building with many other shops nearby. Today, we got to explore a new winery, a best friend-owned boutique, and we did some home decor shopping at Simply Goods and Design. So much more to explore in the Texas Hill Country, so be sure to answer your questions on the Vine app to plan your next trip. It really is so easy to use. You just answer whether you're going to do a romantic getaway, a girls trip. Now tomorrow we'll show you if you have a family with little ones, you can still enjoy the hill country, and we'll show you that tomorrow.
Love it! For more information on the Vine, just head to our website, salive.com. Click on the As Seen on SA Live tab, or just snap that QR code on your screen. All right. We continue with an eclectic variety of craft cocktails from Verde Bistro and Martini Bar.
And don't forget about Father's Day. Yes, it's coming up pretty soon. Do-it-yourself Father's Day gift ideas personalized for Dad. That's next on SA Live.